at the top, the beautiful sounds of D'Angelo with Brown Sugar, and just then we went into Wrong Again, Jack J, from the beautiful piece of music that is slowly defining season 2, I think, Blue Desert. Epic album, one that your brother's getting into, Ted. So sick.
Ted Barrass has jumped on board that as well. Yeah,
that's a certification.
That's
true. The Ted Barrass certification.
That's critically acclaimed if Ted Barrass is on it, and that's actually I reckon his favourite track off the album. So there's a shout out to Ted. Need to get him on the potty as well. Even though he did dog me that one time, and I'm still filthy about it, but it's all G.
Why? Because he was sick and went to surgery.
Oh nah, he had a farm party.
So he absolutely sent it instead of coming on the pod.
Nah, opposite. Like I must admit, like I did give him a bit of a small window. But I was like, right, man, here's your day, let's do it. And he kind of went, mate, it's just, I'm going to go to this farm party down south and probably rip the lid with all my friends. And he did that instead. But again, I don't actually care. But I think he'd be a fantastic guest on this potty, and I can't wait to have him on.
He'd be very funny. Our friend, Joel Pritchett in the DMs.
Cool.
NDEs we're getting into. G'day, boys. I'm a huge fan of the pod. Absolutely love the concept. I've binge listened to all the episodes this week. Bless up, man. Thank you. So he then goes, just wanted to see if you boys are familiar with NDEs, near-death experiences. There's a YouTube page where people speak about their experiences when they pass for a brief amount of time and come back into their body. Listening to many hours of people speak about their experiences has opened my mind as to what the afterlife looks like. Would love to get your thoughts. Keep up the good work. Handshake emoji. Thank you so much, Joel, for writing in. I'm going to hand it to you, Tom, because I reckon you've also come across something similar.
Yeah, thank you, Joel, for ruining my reputation. Get stuck into these NDEs because they're real as well. And, there's lots of paranormal phenomena that is real and is becoming real. And that's my opinion. People don't actually always share that and don't have to share that opinion. But that's really cool. And I'll be interested to see what that YouTube channel is. We should try and find it. But
yeah, I'll get in touch with Joel. I'll slide back in.
I actually got sent a piece of media by Chris Maston after my father died called Surviving Death. It's on Netflix. It's a very similar thing. It's just a big compilation of people's experiences where they almost died, and they talk about, what it was they were doing. Might have been drowning, might have been all kinds of different things, but they have an experience where they leave their bodies, have an NDE, go into some realm, who knows, meet some being that says, hey, you're not ready to go, you need to do this, and that's your goal. And
is there some sort of constant in a lot of these NDEs?
Yeah, there's lots of constants, and I can't really talk like I know that much about it, but I'm just reading here, it's something like you leave your body. That's the first thing. Yep. You leave your body and you get a perspective of your body from, a position of your consciousness that's not inside your head, behind your eyes, if you know what I mean. Bright lights, life reviews, other beings and messages are usually pretty consistent in them. But yeah, this woman called Leslie Keane, she wrote a book saying about surviving death, and it's, investigation into the possibility of life after death, with a bit of new research combined with people's anecdotes. And yeah, it's really interesting, and it does speak to those kind of ideas that, your spirit, you have a spirit, I don't know, first of all, and that it's maybe a consciousness, and it can be outside of your body, and there is an afterlife, which I'd love to believe, and it sounds like Joel's rethinking the idea as well. So,
which is only healthy in my eyes.
Oh, 100%. And, you look at every single culture pretty much forever, Egyptians, indigenous, everyone's got these ideas about life is one part of the journey. You're actually a spirit. There's actually way more going on than you are just a piece of meat rolling around the earth, and the earth's revolving around the sun, and it's just this meaningless materialist world. There's so much more to it than that, and especially the Egyptians, their ideology was that this life is preparing you for the next life, which kind of speaks to the same thing as the Buddhists. Like you get your heart weighed by one of the Egyptian gods when you die, and it's sort of, weighing your heart in terms of how much love did you act with, like how much selflessness did you act with, or were you self-obsessed and materialist and selfish, and so therefore which way you're going to go, into the heavenly realms and into the good next life, or who knows what it is, I don't know, or elsewhere into hell or back into another life that's not as good. But I appreciate that. And again, at PTA.listen, if you want to flesh out ideas and talk about things, I really appreciate that submission from Joel.
Yeah. My thoughts on the afterlife. Like, I don't comprehend it too much. No, I don't think about it too much. Like, I've convinced myself that I'm not afraid of death and I don't care about the outcome.
And how do you think that you embody that?
By just being and doing and trying my hardest to just be and do.
Yes.
So like pausing, like just then when you were talking, with the utmost respect, I checked the time and I thought about lunch. And I had to physically stop myself and be like, no, listen to every word Tom is saying.
See, that's great. That's like, I'm pretty sure the whole meaning of mindfulness is to like catch yourself back in. But again, this thing manifests, and we've spoken a lot on this season about our spiritual journeys and our kids and all this stuff and where we want to get to. But I think truly, if you're not scared of death and you're not scared at all, you don't get angry. You don't get frustrated at your kid because you don't have desire satisfaction about how your life's going to turn out or your kid's life's going to turn out. You have
desire satisfaction.
Yeah. So you want things to go a certain way. You want Matt to live well. You want to have money.
I need
an opportunity.
I need the pink shoes. I need the car. I need the cool hat that says, what does it say?
I don't know, but it is extremely cool. Thanks for noticing. Matt was giving me that much shit.
As opposed to desire satisfaction. It's just
but even it doesn't have to be material. It's like, I want a good life for Esther.
Yep.
Or for Billy. But really, if you're truly not scared of death and you're truly spiritual, or you're like, again, on your way to nirvana by creating non-karmic action, you have understood completely, not partially, like probably where we're at, completely, that it actually doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is just an illusion. Yep. This life is just
the only thing that exists is the stuff that I can see, touch, smell, taste.
I am a spirit on a journey, and I'm being tested, and I'm getting lessons, and I learn and progress forward, or I don't. And so therefore, I think certainly behind my wanting to be a better parent and that and not get angry is half spiritual, because I understand that fundamentally I know that this shouldn't matter. This is coming from a place of me taking myself too seriously. And I think that's how you that's certainly one way in which you can try and help yourself to be less frustrated. And I want to quickly divert to another resource, and it's a book called The Conscious Parent. And Jenny Screen put me onto this. And for those of you that don't know Jenny Screen, I'm going to tell you about her right now. She's a woman who works at Hawthorn.
Yeah.
And what
does she do at Hawthorn?
A guru. She's like part player development manager, part mum of the boys, part spiritual guru, just like one of those people who just knows everything.
Yeah.
When you're feeling down, she senses it. When your energy's off, she senses it. When you need someone to lean on, she's there, and she's an amazing woman. And I just want to talk about her for a bit. She's a 2-time Olympian for women's basketball.
Wow.
She won a silver medal in 2008 and a bronze in 2012. World champion team in Brazil in 2006. Commonwealth Games gold medalist. She is just such a guru and such an amazing person, and I've certainly loved her mentorship. But she put me on to this book called The Conscious Parent, and I've been consuming it as an audiobook. The link will be in the description below. It's by Dr. Shefali Sabari. Dr. Shefali Sabari. I hope I've had a crack, got that right, because doesn't look like that in how it's.
Should I give it a go?
Yeah, you have a crack. It's got a T at the front. But anyway, And pretty much it talks about using...
No, I think you've nailed that. Shefali Sabari.
Shefali Sabari, but it's an audio book and it talks about how everyone kind of just does what their parents did in terms of discipline or how you fire up or what happens.
Yeah.
But if you can have a moment of consciousness and realize that you're doing that, then you can step outside of it.
Like counting to 20 with the ice cream, like we spoke about a few episodes ago.
Yes, exactly. But she is actually talking about using your kids as a spiritual pathway, like using that frustration as a spiritual teacher, as a source to get you towards enlightenment. So that is actually the challenge, that if you can become aware of it and overcome it, you'll hit that guru status where we talk about, which prompted this conversation where, yeah, I'm not scared of death, but not in a partial manner, in a complete manner. And I don't, you know those people, they don't falter. Their mindset is only positive. They don't get angry. They are only working in the positive flow with the world. And that book is a really great resource for that. That link will be in the description at PTA.listen if you want to hit us up and find it. But that is a really great sort of book that's helped me, and I'm going to re-listen to it, even just talking about it now. And it's all in this discussion of, near-death experiences, spirits, all this kind of paranormal phenomena that we're so interested in here at PTA.
I think there's no better place now than to go throw to a couple of tracks and we'll see where we land next, man.
Sweet.